Live from New York. It's Saturday night.
Or Thursday night, yeah.
It's Thursday night.
All right, so
There's
just to clarify, it was Regulation D.
Regulation D. Give an example of an exempt Regulation D securities offering.
Right. So, I had a tough time thinking of an example because I saw basically like three main exemptions, like Rule 405, 505, and 504, 505, and 506. And I kind of just did a brief on all of those, and I didn't save it. I forgot again, so I couldn't get it to you guys.
No worries.
Get it to you. Finding a specific example though was tough for me. I can see how we're going to make a question because, I mean, there are a few detailed questions that we can ask, but as far as examples go, I didn't save mine, so. And basically,
No
I
worries.
just did a thing, so. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and granted, this is my interpretation. I could be entirely wrong with it. However, since you guys had difficulty with it, I'm just going to be falsely confident in this.
Okay.
So, you guys at least understand the concept of a securities offering, right?
I don't know. Refresh my memory.
So a securities offering is basically I give you money in exchange for something that has no current intrinsic value, right? Like I can't, a securities wouldn't be like buying gold because gold has an intrinsic value. It's a tangible item.
Yeah.
Whereas a securities is when you sell off debts, you sell off mortgages, you sell off stock options, or they call them derivatives, which are basically if let's say for example I were to create a company and we're going to sell a product, and I say, hey, I will give you 10% of all sales we do if you invest today, right? That's called a security,
Okay.
right? It's different from a financial asset like a car, right? If you were to give me $25,000 and I give you a car, that's not a security, but that's a tradable financial asset, or a tradable asset. But if you were to give me a note from your bank that says they are loaning you $25,000 for the vehicle, and I allow you purchase of the vehicle. In exchange, we put the title in the bank's name. Your debt, your loan, is a financial security, right? It's a tradable asset. So, what we're getting into here with 504s is, or with Regulation Ds, is tradable securities for investments, right? So, purchasing equity stakes into companies. There's a couple of different options. Regulation A deals mostly with crowdfunding. So, like, if you've ever seen like Indiegogo, well, Indiegogo technically doesn't count as Regulation A because you can actually purchase the company. But like angel investments, where you say, hey, look, if you'll put up $100,000, we'll give an angel investment firm 12% equity in our company, right? Regulation A, you're basically soliciting anybody who has money can make an investment in the company.
Okay.
A Regulation D investment deals specifically with when you solicit one person directly, right? So, Michael, if you were to go online and post an ad on Craigslist, right, or post an ad in the paper and say, looking for $100,000, anybody that contributes will get a portion of my company, that's a Regulation A. But if Michael picks up the phone and calls in and say, hey, Brian, I understand that may have tangible assets that are beneficial to my company.
Okay.
If you give me $100,000, right, it's a direct approach. So the rules and the regulations, 504, 505, 506, are how much money you can
Yeah.
invest. Like a 506 security, Brian, you can't take out that security and then sell it to me, right? That would be a 506, but it allows you to raise unlimited capital. A
Yeah.
505 allows you to raise up to $5 million, but you have to remain an LLC in order to do that, and you have to use an independent public accountant, somebody who's not employed by you. And then a 504, you can have up to $1 million of asset reporting, and you can sell that anywhere you want. So if you buy 15% equity in my company and then decide to give it to Michael in exchange for a cookie, right, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's no intrinsic value.
Because I
So,
understood
I know it's a broad explanation, but
No, that was good. I understood the numerical aspect when I was reading over it, like up to $1 million and the $5 million, then the unlimited amount of capital. But I didn't understand like 505, for example, was an LLC, and that like a 504, you could just like trade it with anyone, you know.
well, it's an
So
LLC or an LLP, so a limited liability corporation or a limited liability partnership,
okay,
right?
yeah,
So, but the nice thing is when you do, right, in that 5 million, you can't have more than 35 investors, right?
okay,
But you, but you can't sell anything for at least 2 years.
yeah,
So, for example, I had a solar door-to-door company a couple years ago that we sold off to an investor, and we had to make sure that the equity stake was divided amongst less than 35 people, and that we all got under 5 million each. So everything was done in stock. So we traded the company for 50 million in stock options, which was great when the stock was trading at $35 a share. But there was this tag that we can't sell our stock for 2 years. That was 15 months ago, and last month the company filed bankruptcy, and those shares are now worth 13 cents. So yeah, right. So we had been given 1.5 million in stock options, right, or 1.5 million stock, which is now worth $196,000 instead of the 50 million, and then we divided that among 30 people. So it sucked. Needless
that's a bummer.
to say.
Sorry to hear that.
I've got
That's
guys.
crazy.
I've got guys that have spent or have a lot of debt because they traded those equities, right, for cash up front,
Yeah,
and now they can't make payments on what's owed because the company's filed for bankruptcy.
that'd be really rough.
Yeah. So
Too bad. Hopefully, you're not in too bad a situation because of that.
no, not at all. Actually, because of my divorce, I was trying to file it, and they said that as long as I owned the stock options, or if I accepted the stock options, then I would have to wait the 2 years until I could sell the stock to finalize everything. So I just declined my investment because I'd have to make like monthly alimony payments to her on the value of that stock. And it was going to be so much of a hassle and cost me like 60 grand on the divorce. So I let it go, and I ended up really only losing about 15 grand. But I also didn't have to spend 60 grand or wait 2 years to file everything. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the thing, the way it works. 504s, you can get up to $1 million, and you can sell them whenever you want. You just have to disclose whenever those assets are sold off. 506s, you can have unlimited money, unlimited capital, but you cannot trade it on the free market. You can only trade it within investors. So if Michael doesn't own the stock already, you can't sell your stock to Michael, but you could sell your stock to me because I still own 15% of the company.
Okay, that makes sense.
Interesting.
So I feel like there's a lot of potential for a quiz question here. There's a lot of directions we could go. What is it? Let me pull it up here.
So the actual question is, give an example of an exempt Regulation D securities offering.
So that could be any of the three then, the 504 or the 05 or 06?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think so.
should we pick... Should we do a scenario and have them pick one, or we could pick a detail within one of them and say to which one does this apply? I think. It seems like there's a good amount of detail between all of them.
Yeah, so my thought was there's rule 501, 502, 503, 504, 505, 506. Rules 501, 502, and 503 deal with the paperwork that has to be filed in order to qualify as Regulation D.
Okay.
My thought was if we came up with a situation and then had them classify what rule under Regulation D it offers, and then we'll offer up just 501, 502, 503, 504, right? And then give the feedback and say, oh, sorry, this isn't a 506, this is a 504, and here's why.
Yeah.
So that was my thought, because we don't want to steer people away and think that it's a 501 or think that it's a 523 securities investment.
Okay. So kind of focus more on the main ones there. I can pull it up real quick. Am I the only one that can share the page because I created it? Is that the rule?
Correct.
So let me get that real quick.
The example that I came up with, and we can use someone else's, but
Let's hear it.
was that Littlefield Technologies is a manufacturer of digital satellite receivers and is selling securities in exchange for equity stakes. Littlefield Technologies solicits Michael, Brian, and John, offering a 10% equity stake in exchange for $300,000, or in exchange for $500,000 of security investments.
Okay.
Under what rule of Regulation D does this transaction qualify for?
Would that be 504 because it's not yet $1 million?
No, it'd be 505 because all three of us would be putting in $500,000 each, and so it'd just break that 1 million border.
Okay, that's a good one.
Which was my thought on, it would come up with that same confusion, right?
Yeah. That's good because the three of us are in it. Okay. Let me share this real quick. All right. Can you guys see the template? Okay.
Yeah.
My screen's frozen out, but don't worry about me.
So Littlefield, you said?
Yeah, Littlefield Technologies. When you guys take Business 361, it's a simulation you've got to do.
Can't wait.
No, it sucks. You're doing production and manufacturing operations management, and the simulator runs for a week straight. Every 40 minutes in real time is 1 day in the simulator. So between you and your 5 people, you've got to track this manufacturing operations and make adjustments to it. But it'll run even in the middle of the night, so you end up having to take time with teammates, and one of you gets a sleepless night.
Oh man, was that 361?
Yeah.
Dang. That's
All right.
interesting.
Well, look forward to that one.
Yeah, it runs for 2 weeks, so.
All right. Something to look forward to then. So you want to run by me what you said again? Littlefield Technologies.
Yep. Littlefield Technologies is a startup company seeking initial investment in the formation of their limited liability corporation.
Let's do LLC. Okay.
Brian, owner of Littlefield Technologies, solicits Michael, Jason, and John
Solicits. Okay.
solicits Michael, Jason, and John for an investment of $500,000 each in exchange for 30% of Littlefield Technologies, or for 30% equity stake in Littlefield Technologies.
Equity stake.
Correct.
Stake like Stake Center, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Under which rule was it?
Under which rule of Regulation D does this securities transaction qualify?
So that's the example, our quiz question. It kind of is our question. Or should I just put under which rule for our question?
Yeah, the question should be under which rule of Regulation D does this securities transaction qualify?
Okay. Correct answer was 505, correct? Rule 505?
Correct. Yep. And the feedback you can offer is that the total investment value exceeds Rule 504. However, it is not a general solicitation.
What is general solicitation?
That's when you go online and anybody that has money can invest.
Okay. That's what you're mentioning. Okay.
But is not a general solicitation for investment.
Okay.
So your incorrect answers would be 501, 504, and 506.
Well, I know what a good feedback could be for 504.
Okay.
So I got that one wrong. Well, okay, wrong answer number 2, 504. So since the three of us are the ones investing, it exceeds $1 million.
Correct.
So since three, I don't want to say investors are investing. What could I say? Let's put the names.
Since the total investment capital exceeds $1 million, and the investment is not restricted solely to accredited investors,
Accredited.
it does not qualify under Rule 504.
You said that 501 deals with the paperwork.
503, I'm sorry.
Okay.
503 requires issuers to file a Form D with the SEC when they make an offering under Regulation D.
You want to put 503 then for wrong answer 1?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I apologize.
So, no, you're good. Requires, you said
Issuers to file a Form D with the SEC when making an offering under Regulation D. It does not specify the financial constraints of the investment.
rates all over the place. Of the investment.
Correct.
Now 506. Was the one where you said that you couldn't like sell the capital to anyone, or is that specific to investors previously like?
In order to qualify for Section 506, the solicitation for investment must be open to the general public.
Sorry, repeat that. The what must be open for?
The solicitation for investment must be open to the general public.
An explanation, for example, do you feel like we need one?
I thought our explanation of our example was what we listed at the beginning.
Well, it says our example, then the explanation of our example, and then quiz question. So
well, I think our example is somewhat self-explanatory, and then our quiz question is under what section of Regulation D does this securities transaction qualify?
Yeah. Let's see if that helps. So how's this looking so far? Correct answer 505. Why the total investment value exceeds Rule 504, excuse me. However, it's not a general solicitation for investing. Wrong answer 503 requires issuers to file a Form D with the SEC when making an offering under Regulation D. It doesn't specify financial constraints, and let's see. Wrong answer number 2, 504. Since the total investment capital exceeds $1 million and the investment is not restricted solely to accredited investors, it does not qualify under 504. And last one, 506. In order to qualify for Section 506, the solicitation for investment must be open to the general public. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
I will send this in right now so we can get that.
Hopefully that all makes sense. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but we all seem to comprehend it, so we're either all wrong or we're all right.
I got it once you explained it more. That's for sure. Let me put B275 week 10 template. Awesome. So where do I submit this then? Let me see.
So you go to the group example instructions, and then you have to click on that, and then I think it's on step 6. It says to upload.
Okay. Here we are. Yeah, because it says end date now, whatever. Is this where it is? Submit files, week 10, weekly. Yeah, this is okay. Add a file. So bad.
I'm just glad we didn't have to deal with Sarbanes-Oxley and Blue Sky laws.
Right. Learned about a little bit about stocks in my accounting class, not much, but okay. Let's see.
Like I said, I hope I get to the point where I own a company that has to deal with SOX compliance,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope that I'm profitable enough that I can pay somebody else to worry about it,
Yeah.
and I can just float on a yacht somewhere.
Wouldn't that be nice?
About 75 million away from doing it. If you know anybody that's got some hanging around.
Well, if I did, you'd be the first I'd call.
Yeah. After you took 74 and a half of it.
You know, around ballparking. I can't say all that.
Give or take.
All
Give or
right.
take $500,000.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and end this right now.
Cool.
Good work, though. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, thanks.
And I see that we have the news article assignment this week.
Yeah. Good.
And so, Michael, you said that it's not due tonight.
It doesn't specify, when I looked on it on the assignment, it just says that our group is for week 10, and we're supposed to post it onto a link to the article onto the community on Google Hangouts, or the Google Plus community. And then there's like a couple sentences we have to write about it that relate to the chapters that we read this week. So
Yeah. I'm trying to read up on it and see if there is. I'm just going back to the syllabus to see if there's a. Hey,
that's
by
a
the
good
way,
idea.
here's when it's due, because I don't want to upload it tomorrow and then find out, oh, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Found that out too many times already.
Seriously, you don't.
So true.
Okay, the syllabus didn't do that. Course flow. I'm not seeing anything. I'm going to assume since everything else in iLearn is due Monday morning.
Yeah, that's a good assumption. When would you guys... It's not something that we need to do through a video, right?
No, it's all individually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Okay.
individual.
Good.
Yeah. Everything else is due June 27th at 7 a.m. So.
Okay.
And then I think we're supposed to reference a link to our video just on the community.
Yeah. I think I remember how to do that.
Okay.
You just go down to like the group and then you like copy and paste this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Well, good luck on the week 10 thing we have to do, news article. And thanks for your help tonight. Good
Yeah,
talking
no
to you
worries.
guys.
For sure. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for checking in, and we'll do this again next week.
Yeah, thanks for your help, Jason.
Yeah, Jason, thanks.
Yep. No worries, guys. Have a good night.
All right, you
Okay.
too. See ya.
See ya.